to Michelle's Opinions.
Hey guys, welcome to Michelle's Opinions. I know I've been MIA for a little while, so I thought I would check in and see how everybody's doing, since today is actually July 19th. And let's see, let me check in the chat, see who's here. Ooh, there's people here, but nobody's saying anything. How are you guys feeling? Have you noticed anything? Have you been looking out at the night sky? I also want to tell you, the heat here has been so sweltering that I had to shut down all of my equipment. My microphone boom actually melted the mount that it was on, melted straight through, because it's metal and he had it mounted on. There's a computer stand, but it's like plastic for my computer, and it melted straight through there. So now he's mounted it to something that is metal, so that should be better. But that should give you an idea of how freaking hot it is. Oh my gosh. Sometimes when I'm reading it, or and I think Josie said she sounded like I had a cold. Well, I love my animals, and I have a little portable air conditioner out here. He's put it in a permanent location so it can't be moved, but my pit doesn't come into the house very often, so I leave that little air conditioner on and let him stay in the garage, because it's just so hot outside. I just don't want him, melting, or it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. So July 19th, the last planet creeped over onto the right side of the sun. Is anybody feeling any type of physical symptoms? Are you noticing anything? Anybody around you feeling any physical symptoms or complaining of different things going on with them? And then I will share with you guys which Dark Wolf has been waiting a very long time. I was going into having full physical, and I got my results this morning. Very surprising results, I might tell you guys. Considering where I came from and where I am now, I'm just amazed. Absolutely amazed. So, okay, there's 6 people watching. Anybody want to say hello so I know you're there? Or is this probably Jam's streaming my stream through his stream, because he does that kind of stuff, Also, guys, anybody with the telescope, that loves looking at the stars, I'm sure we're going to be having a beautiful light show, in the skies with all the planets on the same side. We have beautiful stars that we look at all the time, but planets, they illuminate differently. They're pretty clear and dominant light. A lot of times we can see them with our naked eye. So, if anything, it should be absolutely beautiful. But as for me, besides what I was already feeling before this date, it's just super tired. But I'm getting my energy back. It's just now fighting the heat. It's just so hot. And I know it's very late for a lot of people. So, and I really didn't announce this a lot of places, because I just wanted to see, the intimate group that watches, and, and see what's going on. Is everything working okay? Can you guys hear me? Is the sound coming through all right? Because I have to have my screen on mute, otherwise you get the echo effect. Oh, and I have been busy. I made that little intro. I want to know what you guys think. I know it's a little generic, but I'm trying, I'm learning. And did the sound come through on that? I can check that later, but Yeah. And I figured this background is perfect for what's going on. We've got this is one that I did on the Mandela, you know, the multiple reality theory that, you know, each decision we make, we could step onto another reality, another Earth, and yeah. So I thought with the planetary alignment, with all the planets on one side, this would be perfect. Also, when Lara, oh gosh, I hope she's not watching me butcher her name. She was talking about that on the opposite side of the sun is another Earth-like planet, but we can never see it because it's completely, you know, on the opposite rotation on the sun. So, you know, interesting that we may have a twin, a doppelganger, on the other side of the planet. It may have you, me, and everybody else walking around doing their thing over there. It's just amazing. Hi, not so fancy Nancy. How are you? Somebody spoke. Oh. Could you hear the intro? Was the sound okay on the intro? It's the first time trying it, you know, and the timing and all this electronic knowledge you have to know. It's like, oh my gosh. I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there. I'm growing with you. Growing with you. Okay. I'm going to get into the doctor's appointment where I had that physical. Do you remember somebody... Okay, great. Do you remember when they were talking about everybody rushed? Yeah, that's the air conditioner. I can't, that portable air conditioner out here, I won't turn it off. I'll die if I turn it off. But I put this one here up is to help buffer that sound out to try. And I am on a makeshift studio still because he has not finished the shed. So these will get better and better. Just takes time, money, and a little bit of learning. Where was I? Oh, the doctor. Okay. A few months ago, Darkwolf, and he still probably is, he's doing a study on magnesium. And when the shifts happen, then the magnesium drops. Well, also, Lahara, that's where I was at. I was talking about, I believe it was her on her interview, that a bunch of people rushed to the hospital because their hearts were, you know, palpitating and, you know, they didn't know what the heck was going on. And there was no rhyme or reason for it. Well, during my physical, my heart did that just in one area, just to show its little head in there. And my doctor showed it to me, but he wasn't concerned about it since it happened just the one time. So, hi Lee. So I did it just the one time, and so he wasn't too concerned. Now, as for my liver, my blood work, and I drink a lot of soda pop, guys. I just tell you, I just love my soda pop. But I have been finding myself wanting to get a lot of water, probably because it's so hot. And I was supposed to be fasting. Okay, well, that means just I got water only. Well, when I first woke up and I was groggy, I grabbed my caffeine, so I grabbed a soda pop and drank it and thought, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be fasting. And even with drinking that soda pop, my sugar levels were excelente. And if I wouldn't have drank that soda pop, they would have even been better. So, to my surprise, my magnesium, my liver, I've been on pain management for over 10 years now. My liver is in excellent shape. My organs are, it's like everything is renewing itself. Like, from lab work and tests that were done 10, 15 years ago to today, I'm in better shape today than I was back then. It's just amazing. It's absolutely amazing. But it's been over a process of time. Let's put that out. Oh yeah, he wants me to quit smoking. But what doctor doesn't tell you to quit smoking, right? he wouldn't be much of a doctor if he didn't tell us to quit smoking. But yeah, exercise and quit smoking. And he said that my weight was in complete proportion. Like my weight is good, but what I need to do is get the proportions better, which before I got the swimming pool, it was all water weight. And now I'm actually getting some muscle, so I had 53% muscle, so that's helping too. And then I have 47%, it would be called body fat or water weight, and the more that I swim, the more toned up that I will be. So I had a really good appointment. Nothing really bad happened. So if you guys, when I do, excuse me, you see, I'm out here and he's out here. I just couldn't put him out, and I left the door open so he could come in and out. But it's just too hot for our animals. I mean, I'm out in the desert, and 105 degrees is just too much. It's just absolutely too much. I'm not going to have some, you know, my little family member that's covered in fur have to go out and endure that kind of heat. It's just, you know, I don't know if I told you guys this, but on the 4th of July, my pit bull jumped in the pool, dove into the pool when the boom boom started going off. Yes. Hey Prelim, hey Lee. Yeah, it's very hot there too. It's terribly hot. It's like, ooh. So you'll either see me coming on early in the morning or late in the evening until this heat breaks. Now, I will be out of pocket for a little time, so I'm going to let you guys know about that. My mom is going in for a major surgery, so I will be down taking care of her for a little while. I did get up to 999s on the master members. Once I get through the master numbers, I'm going to do 1 through 9 angel numbers, what angels represented. So those are some of the series that are coming up. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying those master numbers. They kind of tie into the number synchronicities that we see daily. So this way, and of course with anything, is your discernment. I always put the source information down in the show more notes. So yeah, so you can look for yourself or expand on it and find more information in more detail. That one website is just a treasure trove because I could find any unique number combination. I mean, just because you're not seeing them replicating themselves, you know, like 1111, and you're seeing a unique number that's to you over and over again. That has meaning. There's a significance to that, and it's just for you. So we are going to do another one of those, probably tomorrow. We'll just see if I can get it done in the morning. I'm on Pacific Standard Time, so that way, you know, more people can catch it, because you know, late night shows are. This is difficult for East Coast people. I mean, this is a Thursday night. What is it? 9, 10, 11, 12, almost 12:30 for you guys. I mean, that's, yeah. So I'll keep it nice and short so people can come back and watch and see what you guys have, you know, said and what's going on with you. Okay, let's see. Not so fancy dancy. I can't stay through. I have a short week. Okay, I thought you were going to tell me something that happened with the planetary alignment that's going on with you. Yeah, the heat wave. Our planet is being affected, of course, but see, we'll be affected too because of the magnetic pulls of all the planets. They all have, just like Earth has a magnetic pull, magnetic pulse. You know, the Schumann. You know, and with us all on the same side, it's going to be like almost like a tug of war. So each planet will be affected, in my opinion, because of the others. Now there's something going on I think on the 22nd, 23rd, where they're going to be lined up like 3 in a row, 3 in a row, 3 in a row, like slices of a pie. So we'll see what goes on there. But what I'm wondering is, people that have been doing and going through this process for a while, a couple of years, 10 years, doesn't really matter, it's not, you know, but have been going through this, you know, through their free choice. They chose to seek out the truth no matter what the cost, and are going for it, and, you know, going through the purging, getting rid of things that don't serve them anymore, body aches, different scenarios and stuff. I'm wondering if this alignment won't affect them as much. But for the people who have not yet been through these processes that we were actually given years to go through, if they're going to start feeling these very intensely and very quickly, very rapidly. So that's where, you know, you guys come in, because I want to know, are you feeling anything different? I think the heat is what is making me so tired. I just don't do well with heat. Now I have my swimming pool, but you know, when it's too hot to go outside and take a swim, it's too hot. I mean, I could be outside maybe 10 minutes before I'll start getting a sunburn, and that's with sunscreen and everything. So, you know, it's that hot. It's like, Where are you at, Pre? Are you, I mean, you don't have to tell me what, just the state, or are you on the East Coast, Midwest, or West Coast? I know that in Arizona they're getting pummeled with heat, just terrible, terrible. You're in Wisconsin, really, and you're having such heat. Is that pretty normal for Wisconsin? So Wisconsin, don't you get snow and all that good stuff? Well, you know, when I was in Oklahoma, we had hot, but it was the humidity is what killed us there. Yeah, it was like. Oh, Layered Life was going to come on next week. Super duper shy, and that was my bad. I get up at like 4 in the morning, and I get all the work I can get done, and then I'll lay down maybe about 11, thinking I'm going to take a nap. I didn't wake up until 5:55, and his show was supposed to be at 5 my time, 6 his time. So. But then in the meantime, he ended up having to work late, so he let me off the hook so gently and so sweetly. I was like, oh my gosh. Because really, guys, I really try to keep the appointments that I make with you guys. So he is coming. He's probably just going to be his icon, because he's super duper shy. But the information he has to share is, you know, you're really going to enjoy it. And Jams has sent the email reference over to the gentleman that has come up with the formula where he can actually figure out when these shifts are going to happen, which should be a very interesting topic to discuss. Yes. Hey, Captain Lee, how are you? I'm on super duper late, Captain. Captain's on my side of the world, and I could tell you he knows how freaking hot it is outside during the day. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Utah? Oh yeah. Upper 90s, but it feels like you're actually baking in the sun. Yeah. And that's how it was in Oklahoma with the humidity. You might as well add 10 degrees to what you're feeling, because it's that's what it feels like, because the humidity is like, you just add 10 degrees. I prefer the dry heat, yeah, you know, but please give us a nice little gentle breeze. That would be nice. I was thinking today, you know, when you think that you're late for something, and then when, you know, you're under stress, you hit every red light, and, you know, everything seems to go wrong. Uh-oh. Somebody's lighting off fireworks. My dog may come in here and pummel me. Did you guys hear that boom? Okay. It's just sitting there. Okay. Okay. When we get worried that, oh, we're late and we're rushing around and fumbling around, we've already put that thought into action. Where our energy goes, motion flows. So therefore, we're creating the situation to be more tedious for us. So it gives credence to, you know, just go with the flow, you know. So because if you think, as you think, it's going to happen. So if you're like, yeah, I got 15 minutes to get there, I'm gonna make it. It's cool. You'll hit every green light and everything on the way down. I've tested this theory. The only time that it really doesn't work is when I have somebody else in the car that is completely stressed out about being late. Then we gotta buffer each other. So, try it. Hey, Rainbow Phoenix. Present. You are present. Have you felt anything, Rainbow? I know you're sensitive. Have you felt anything since we went into this bright side of the sun? Also wanted to see how many people are still here. I heard other live streams. Actually, a lot of us haven't been live streaming. It's been really weird. But on other live streams that like half their viewership is like not there, not present. So did we shift again? I don't know. Something to think about, guys. It's pretty weird. Ooh, yeah. If I had to come out in the back, I'd take a quick shower and wash off. Yep. Yeah, I'm not comfortable with being all sweaty. I'm just not. I don't like it. It's not comfortable. But I guess it would get rid of some of that water weight, right? Like the doc was talking about. Sweat it out. And, you know, when those people go into those, like, I don't know, those rooms with that little steamer thing, add water, put steam, sauna? I think it's called a sauna. Is that what they're doing? Is sweating off the excess water weight and cellulite or whatever? Probably is good for us, but not in the way where, because they're always sitting down and relaxing. They're not exerting themselves. You hear a double echo? Is that better? Echo, 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 echo. Is it gone? Sorry about the scratching. I put my echoing. I'm in a tunnel, didn't I tell you? I'm in an underground basement where it's nice and cool. No, I'm kidding. Actually, I don't know when the microphone boom melted through what it was mounted to, because it's plastic. It just melted right through it. I don't know if some of my settings got messed up, and you know, I'm half blind, so I can't read them. But that button was pushed, and I think it was for stereo. The chamber effect. Ooh. Or maybe it's something with OBS. Hold on. It may be. Let me try this. How's that for you guys? Is that better now? My pretties? Okay. That was coming through OBS then. Well, and I turned the stereo effect off on that, but I think the stereo effect was on. But I made an intro, and I played it in the beginning, and it just automatically disappears off the screen, but the sound is still on it, so it was probably picking up me and reverberating it back into the microphone on a feedback loop, so I muted it. Oh my God. Well, namaste. I recognize the God in you. Yes. It's great. Okay. Planetary alignment. Is any of you astronomy enthusiasts? Any of you? I know we all watch the skies, but is there any of you that really enjoy and have your telescope out there and you're studying them, so you know that you'll be able to see these beautiful planets illuminating in the sky?
Well, you know what, Tiffany? I don't know. Spiders normally, since they're nocturnal, I would say they don't like the heat or the light. They come out usually at night. Um, so, yeah, I think they can endure the heat, but they're not very active. They're more active at night. So that would yeah, they really are not much for heat and light. But I'm not, into spiders. Now, my friend Mel in the Flame, she is. She raises them, that with her geckos and amongst many creatures that she raises. And she's picky about what homes they go to and everything. You mostly use stellarium. Oh, for the spiders? Spiders everywhere. Interesting. I'm not seeing a lot of spiders. But I haven't seen spiders for quite a while. I went through a stage of seeing spiders everywhere. She can have all your spiders. She would probably love that if you could figure out, are you in the UK? Because that's the problem, is customs, getting them through the UK. Mind you. She would take good care of them. She'd raise them and breed them and give them to good homes. I think her main ones that she does are tarantulas, I think. I'd have to get with her on that. But she's long asleep because of the time difference. You guys. Oh, boy. Captain can post the link for the Flame. I don't know if everybody in here is a member of the Flame or not. I don't get a lot of time to spend in there because I've been busy. Doctor's appointments, got mom's surgery, been running around trying to get things put together for my son and my granddaughter. So, the world is a-knocking. So when the world's knocking, we've got to address what's going on, within our... we call it a 3D life, but I got to tell you guys, the outcomes of these things that we're going through, if they're not buffered by another, they go through smooth as silk. It's all in what we're doing in the micro, and it goes out in the macro. So yeah, there's the link invite to Flame Discord room, and it's a really nice place for, when you're going through a lot of things and a lot's going on with you. People there listen, they share what they know, and they also listen so they can grow, and they will, there'll be a guiding light for you. They'll also be a listener, and they will also listen to you and be guided by your light. We all are equals in there, and we share information, and we grow from each other. It's really beautiful. I need to be able to spend more time in there. It's just haven't had the time. I've been in there a few times, Captain. I think you've been really busy too. I haven't seen you much in there. Have you been trying to duck out the heat too? Because definitely that's what I've been doing. I was hoping this planetary alignment would cool it down a little bit. Let's want that, What do they say? What did they say? That it was global warming, but then it was actually like a global cooling because we're in solar minimum, but solar minimum actually means it's going to get hotter. So, like, the words that we use, it's very confusing. But it's not caused by, the things that we're doing. It's not from people. It is, it has to do with the sun, the placement, all of these other things. Cows. I think cows are the number one CO2 or whatever the toxic, what we're fighting. They make the most of it, and cows have been walking this earth a long time. So yeah, me too, Lee. A lot going on in the construct. That's exactly right. Yes, she's doing some grid work. She's going to be coming back, Tiffany. So look for her coming back soon and giving some updates. I don't know if she's going to be working much on her channel. That's for her to say. But yeah, I've been in contact with her, and when I reach out to her, she usually gets back with me pretty quickly, lets me know what's going on. But that's what she's been doing here as of late, and is grid work, which is something that she's very passionate about, and she's been doing it pretty much for as long as she can remember. She goes all these amazing places and sets down these certain crystals or items, or these sacred things, and it helps the purify areas and things like that. So that's what she does, and it's absolutely amazing. But she's definitely coming back. She's a beautiful, wonderful soul and has a lot to share. Yes, she'll be here again. Okay, is she waiting for more subscribers? She needs to put up some videos. So she's not out doing grid work? Darla Dawn? That's what she had told me, that she was out doing grid work, and August will be when she's available again. Which it's good to time people out, in between, because I want, yeah, I'm in her group too. I didn't see that message, but who has time? I can't keep up with Facebook, Twitter, and I just can't keep up with all of it. I can't split myself up into that many different directions yet. I'm not a very good multitasker yet. Yeah, she is. Well, that was part of what she was sharing when she was on here, was the amazing places that she got to, and when she was needing to go somewhere where there was a hindrance, then all of a sudden an opportunity opened up for her. It's just amazing. She's an amazing lady. But yeah, her channel's on my homepage, and of course it's under her interview. So anybody that hasn't subscribed, but I'm just a little channel, just chugging along too. So yeah, I think when Unbiased on the Fence opens the door for her, that may help. We'll see. Hopefully he watches the interview that she did here and sees how clear she is in speaking, and and that she knows her stuff. Yes. Yes, and that that's what we were just talking about, Darla, is some of the people that have went live, they're saying like their audience participation has like been cut in half, like where they would have 100 people gathered for their live stream, they only had like between 35 and 40. That's actually less than half right there in their live stream. So what happened? Did something happen? I'm wondering, because even now we've got 11, and we would normally run in the 20s, 24-ish up to 30 sometimes, but it is late at night. So, that could have an effect. I do have a good track record of people rewatching. So, and by keeping them under an hour, that really helps out. But tomorrow, guys, I promise I will come on, and we're going to do another one of those angel code. And so if you, just think about what the ones that you're seeing, that not the repetitive ones, but the ones that are specific to you, and we'll look them up and say what they mean. And I have not met any of them, or I have not come across any of those numbers, that even if it may have a little corrective measure in it, that is not uplifting and full of hope. And that's what I love about these so much. It's never come up as a definitive, you are a total mess up and there's no way you can improve it. If you've got breath in your lungs and you've got a heartbeat going and you're moving along, you can always change your mind, and you can always change the way you're going. And, you know, we all improve daily. That's why we share what we know and we listen so we grow. Okay, Michelle, where do you suppose many of us, before we incarnated, where do you suppose many of us before we incarnated on Earth? Wait, I'm not understanding the question. Are you asking where I think we were before we incarnated on the Earth? Now, the only thing that I can tell you is something that I saw in a meditation. And during this meditation, I went into a deep meditation, deeper than I am able to go into when I'm by myself. See, it was a guided meditation, so I trusted the guide would pull me back out, you know. And in dream state, sometimes we go so far down, you know, into a meditative state that we don't remember everything. But this way I was able to remember. Part of that, I saw a past life or something. Maybe it was future. I don't know. We're outside of time. But then I saw myself picking my parents. I saw myself picking my mother. And that was interesting to me. I was like, huh. So, you know, when people talk about, you know, contracts, these contracts are what we make with ourselves. They're not like a signed contract that we made with anybody else. It's some kind of agreement we made with ourselves on what we want to experience here. We get a lot of choices, and we also have a lot of help to help us to achieve what we came here to achieve. So, where we came from before, Dolores Cannon talks about the waves of volunteers. You know, I don't know. I'm not going to make a judgment on that because my mind is wide open to anything. If somebody has a testimony of verifying something of that nature, I'm all for listening to it. Now, I've had dreams where it's felt as if, you know, it was a different species, but they were doing like medical type work to me and didn't want me in any kind of pain. They didn't even want me to be scared. And it was almost like they were more afraid that I would hurt them, you know, with my fear or whatever, and the benefits, you know, that have come over time from that. And I seen them as a different type of a being. They were not human. They, you know, they looked different. But I don't know if that was my mind, you know, trying to come up with something to make the situation seem logical, because I could feel it. I felt this like tingling and this numbing, and it felt like I was in this energy harness. And I know we can astral project and leave our body and travel all over the place. I know we're much more than we ever thought we were. And I'm learning and growing with you guys daily. I'm a little thick-headed. It took me 17 years before I would even speak up about some of the experiences. And still, some of them I have not shared because, you know, it's just that intimate. And that's why I say we're all on a narrow path. And it's a narrow path because you're the one on it. Because each of us have our own things that we're working on. So, you know, something that's going on within me may not be the same as what's going on within you. But there are some, you know, big things that we all seem to go through, which brings us together. Like we all hold a piece of the puzzle, which is bringing us together, where we were compartmentalized and divided. We're all coming together as one, realizing that we're all expressions of the one, and how uniquely and perfectly each of us are, you know, are made. And then once you realize that we are all quantumly entangled, and we all go back to the one, the very divine breath of life that's in me is in you. Oh my gosh, it's like a whole new world opens up to you. I'll go to catch up with the chat. In a twinkling of an eye, we can change. Yeah, yeah, right. And you know, Rainbow Phoenix, I would think of that like that spiritual experience that I have. But to be gentle, like with kid gloves, like with fatherly or motherly love, we're brought along in a gentle way. But yeah, my life changed from that day on. Absolutely. Yep, Captain. Yes, mold the clay from any now moment. And yes, my now moment now and my tomorrow now moment, it could be completely different. And that's part of the beauty of this. If we don't dig our heels in and make a belief structure out of it, and you know, my way is the only way type thing, oh my gosh, you guys, we're limitless. We're absolutely limitless. You want to do an astro projection? You probably have been, you just don't know it yet. When I found out that I was astro projecting, it was brought to my awareness. It was just brought to my awareness. Doesn't mean I wasn't doing it already. I just wasn't remembering it. You know, when you have like lucid dreams or these kooky dreams that are going on and you're like, what the heck is this about? It's a possibility you're outside your body looking at something going, what the heck? So, yeah. And you'll know when it's time. Just ask, knock, and seek, and you shall receive. There's nothing that will be denied. Nothing. You're limitless. Anything you want to do, you can do. The only one that limits us is us. Okay. Can you drop the link one more time? I'm about to... See, it's so hot. I'm sweating still. Yeah, it's 95 degrees and it's 10 o'clock at night. And that's with my air conditioning on out here. It's terrible. Terrible, I tell you. Oh, I did tell him, drop the link to Flame. Yeah. Before he goes. I hope he heard me before he bounced. Well, Tiffany, you're a very vivid dreamer. Do you dream in color or black and white? Can never become less than what we've become. That's right. You can only become more and more and more and more. You keep seeing tracers. Does LSD have anything to do with it? I'm kidding, Rainbow Phoenix. You want the link to Flame. He did put it in here once. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it for you. Hold on. And let me make a okay, I'm gonna generate a link that has no limit, but it expires in 1 day. So if you're gonna join today. There you go. That's to the chat forum Flame. Hey Raleigh, how are you? What I missed besides everything? Not too much. We just been discussing a little bit of everything, really. I really wish your stream was stronger, because I would love to have you on. Some of the things about Egypt and some of the other topics about Edgar Cayce and things like that you talk about would be wonderful to share, Raleigh. So, you know, email me. Yeah, I'm there for you, buddy. If I see you online, I gotta check you out. I do. It buffers a lot, and you know, but it looks like, I think when it's buffering on you, it looks like your people are gone. But there was 5 or 6 or some. There were several people in your chat talking. I'm sure when you did the playback, you noticed that I wasn't the only one there. There were several of us chitter-chattering. So, yeah. That's a good thing, Raleigh. We want to see what, I mean, when you were showing us your Egyptian collectibles, those were beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, on the planetary alignment. Oh, I know you were serious. I don't really see tracers. Well, of course you do when you like wave your hand. You'll see the pixelation as your hand. Yeah, I don't know. So maybe I just checked. See me waving at you. Really? That's what I was wondering, Raleigh, is them all being on the right side of the sun together. As we all have, each planet has a magnetic pull. It's going to be like a push and pull type of a situation over there, which could cause some effects. And, yeah, I noticed that, you know, the sarcophagus, the touch, Isis, I was gifted I was gifted one painting from my brother when he was in Egypt, and they make it on is it papyrus? The paper, it's real fragile, but they make their own paper, okay? And then when they paint, they actually use gold in their paint, so it's absolutely gorgeous. I've had them behind glass. Well, in the meantime, he had given, I think, 2 to my mom, 1 to me. Well, my mom moved, and then she moved into a, what do you call them, trailer home. Didn't have the space for them, so I got gifted them, and so I've got a set of 3, and they are absolutely gorgeous. But when you look at them, like from the side view, they almost look 3-dimensional with the way that they paint them, the colors that the way they pop, and that amazing paper. So yeah, I like my Egyptian artifacts also. Well, it's not an artifact, I mean they're paintings, but it being on this, what I'll do, I'll take a picture of them, Raleigh, and I will email me so I know your email, and then I will take a picture of the paintings that I have, and I'll email them back to you. So you'll know what I mean when I talk about the unique paper that they're painted on and how beautiful they absolutely are. They're just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Nice. You see objects tracing too. Are you talking about in the sky, Rainbow? Or are you talking about like as you're walking your hands? I mean, is everything tracing out for you, or is it like, you know, in the sky, like shooting stars and things like that? We need some more detail. It's still 95 degrees out here. I need a fan. If I turn the fan, I have a fan, but if I turn the fan on, it sounds like I'm in a wind tunnel and you guys are like, ooh. So I don't do that to you. Okay, let's check this. Okay, one interesting story about gold is there is still gold chips and dust in the streets of Alexandria. Wow! Because they traded so much gold there for centuries. Huh! So their streets are actually lined with gold. And I heard gold is good for you. I mean, like, to ingest. Don't eat your watch or anything like that. But I mean, like, in flakes. You know, some of the minerals and stuff there are really good for you. Isn't there like a tequila gold with the gold flakes in it? Now, I don't drink alcohol, but it's just I just notice things like that. Well, guys, it is super duper hot. I wanted to see if anybody was seeing anything with this planetary alignment. Tomorrow we'll do the angel codes, so I'll do those more. I'll do them earlier in the day so we can. Hey, pretty dark. I know, because it's so hot. It's just so hot. Yeah, two thinks I see it now. Okay, good. Yep. But I put the air conditioner. He mounted it with a permanent ventilation outward. But I just can't turn it off because of my animals. You know, I just can't. Now my Pomeranian goes in the house, but the pit bull, his dog house, he's decided, is the garage, and I just can't put him out. And even when I do live streams, sometimes he'll bark and stuff, so I'll have to put him out so he doesn't interrupt or startle you guys by barking and startle me. And I don't feel good about that. So, guys, you know, when I go live in the morning, I'm going to have my pup in here with me because it's just too hot for him. So I hope you guys can understand that. And I love you guys all so very, very much. Thank you. I know this was a late one. I just wanted to check in and see how many of us are still here. Since that one said that, you know, when you go from 100 viewers down to 35 to 40, you're like, what just happened? Did we move or did they move? I mean, what's going on? Or are they just trying to beat the heat and like me, like, the heat just makes me so tired and just, ugh. So, I love you guys. Like, share, subscribe. My email address is in the show more notes. If you'd like to come on and share your story, please email me there. Let's go. Let's do this. Raleigh, email me and I will take a picture of those Egyptian paintings and share those with you because I think you'll enjoy that. And everybody, I love you all so much. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful night. Peace. Talk to you soon.